Patrick.
I'm Kevin.
And December is upon us. It's actually right now.
Right now!
Right now, December is happening. Looking at the release schedule for games, it's really apparent that it's December because everything's pushed towards the front. And by front, I mean the early dates.
December 1st.
December 1st has 3 games dropping, 3 big games, that is, all dropping at once. Everything's getting out there well before the actual holidays, whichever holiday that you're celebrating. Some of these are actually after those, but these are before it, at least.
No, because Devil's Third is coming out on the 11th. We're going to talk about that in a second, but that's the last release date for anything that we have.
But that's the only one that happens where it's actually into the Hanukkah season and all of that.
Okay.
Right, so, yeah. But all the others are right now. As you're watching this, they're already out.
First one coming out is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, which had the broken beta a little while ago.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that one launches.
That was a nice way to introduce us to your new game.
Yeah. Well, it's a game all about breaking things.
It
so
is. Maybe it's fitting.
It'll be interesting. I'm going to watch Let's Plays of this because the concept is really cool.
Yes.
And I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because Battlefield is the first person shooter that has the destructible environments and that kind of thing. Yeah. But this is taking it to a whole new level where you're busting through the floors and walls and ceiling and that just seems fun.
It seems fun, and I like the aspect like, okay, you got to rescue this person, we got to blast through this wall. Don't use the door, just use the wall, and it's really cool to me.
I like the idea that somebody's going to be able to play out the first little bit of Italian job and like C4 the ceiling, and then drop whatever it is that they're trying to retrieve.
That would be cool. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, there's just all kinds of ways that people are gonna be looking to break and twist, and like there's a lot of freedom in this game, and I like the idea, and it's something different, something that we really haven't seen before.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see how that comes out.
Exactly. And Just Cause 3 is out now.
Speaking of massive
destruction, Just Cause 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it on Xbox.
I played enough of it to know that I was going to sink hundreds of hours into it. And like right now, Fallout still has me, but this is absolutely one that I will be picking up at some point.
Yes, so. This is a must play at some point within the next year, I guess.
Yeah.
Play it because it looks like they've taken everything that I've loved on Just Cause 2 and made it even better and bigger and more explodey, and I cannot wait.
This is another one that I'm really going to enjoy watching because like with the grappling and the flinging into the air, like it just looks, this game looks absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Like in a Alice in Wonderland type of way. This game looks mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
not quite exciting. As mad as like Saints Row the Third, but pretty mad, pretty out there.
Pretty mad.
Pretty out there, which I love it. And the completely opposite end of that spectrum though, Chivalry, Medieval Warfare.
Finally coming to console.
This game came out 3 years ago on PC. Which a lot of people were really excited about it coming out on PC, and I haven't seen reviews of it since it first came out.
Yeah.
But Angry Joe and a few other people talked about this and how the idea is great because it's
supposed to be realistic medieval combat.
Yes.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yes, hand-to-hand, and a sword, whatever, melee. And being able to do that online with a bunch of people and take over castles, it's really cool. It sounds amazing, but apparently it was horrible on launch. I'm hoping that it's changed. I'm hoping that they polished the heck out of it.
I mean, in 3 years, you have enough time to make a game, so
let's hope.
Hopefully, they've had enough people working on it that by now we're getting, because that's one of the interesting things about games getting released in a very limited fashion. Yeah. Like, I feel like that when Rise of the Tomb Raider comes out to PS4 next year, I think that it's going to be a much bigger deal, and it's we're going to get the whole polish and the whole thing.
You are.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm hoping that this will be a similar situation. That they've taken the time to get feedback, to listen, to find out what it is that they could do better and how to do it.
Yeah. Or just made a brand new game.
If they were making an entirely brand new game,
then I would. Time.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard anything about this game until like I heard about it when they started it, when it launched on PC, and just now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
There've been hardcore realist people, I guess you want to call them. People who are like the whole enactment of real battles and realism, Skyrim's just too, magic-y.
What was that? Bushido Blade?
Yeah.
The one-hit kill. God, I love that game.
Yeah.
So if there is enough Bushido Blade in this one, I will play it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's more polished out. We'll see how that goes. So those are all on the first. Then Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes,
which looks really good.
It looks amazing.
I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. I actually forgot it was coming out this soon. I thought it was coming out next year. So that's going to be that looks just great. I can't wait to see the reviews on this one. Not only because it looks great, but I think that the other games have been kind of cult favorites over here. They've been bigger in Japan.
Yeah.
And they're good games, but not as many people over here have played them. So I'm hoping that this changes things.
But this is the one that kind of brings it to the West.
Exactly. For at least all the Wii U owners out there to play it.
All 10 million.
There's still good games coming out for Wii U. There are still good games coming out for Wii U.
Yeah.
Another one that's coming out for Wii U. Questionably good.
Apparently not good.
Apparently not good.
It's Devil's Third, which... Yeah. You have to see and hear the gameplay for this one to understand just how bloody weird it is that this game is coming out exclusively on Wii U, because it looks like a mix between like Hitman and what was it, Manhunt?
Manhunt,
and like but with sword combat and
it's
brutal,
bonkers. It's bloody. It's I didn't expect it for the Wii U, but this has to be some. I haven't looked into the developer as much, but this has to be some developer that latched onto Nintendo for some reason or another, or Nintendo latched them to say, "Hey, let's show that this isn't just for kids."
Well, actually,
you know about this?
I do know a little bit about it. Okay. Devil's Third was originally one of the many casualties of THQ. May they rest in peace.
Okay,
and then Valhalla picked it up. And so they took it and they finished it. And so I don't know what THQ's original plan was with it, but with Valhalla, it's going to be a Nintendo game and it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it exists. And it's been out in Europe for a while, and I still don't understand why Nintendo will release, like, Woolly World came out in Europe like 2 months before it came out here, and clearly it's in English. Like the gameplay and everything was in English. I don't know why they think that there's Americans. No, I don't get it. Anyway,
because Nintendo still plays like it's the mid or early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
They're still playing with the business model of that time. Hey, let's release it then. Hey, let's release it this time. We may not release this game ever. No, release them all at the same time. And you're a big enough company, Nintendo.
And the thing is that, like, even if they have just a link where you can be like, hey, click here to see the Japan store and buy things from the Japan store. The amount of background that you would need the infrastructure that you need to build for that, you have the most rabid fans. Yeah. The cost to return is obscene.
Yeah.
Just bring it.
Yep.
So speaking of things that do not make us upset for December.
The PlayStation Plus and Xbox Games with Gold lists have been released.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're watching this now, the first batch of those are out.
You are watching this now because that's how time works.
Because right now is when you're watching it. Because if you weren't watching it now, you wouldn't hear this or see this. You could be listening to this now.
Yeah.
That could happen.
So, right now, these plus, well, some of these are available because there's the whole
Xbox
December 16th.
Gives you half at one point, half at another. So, first one, Thief for Xbox One. Mm-hmm. I'm happy about this. This one actually was on PS3 or in March this year, I believe. So you may have already played this. If you haven't, give it a shot because the game is all right. It wasn't worth the full price in my opinion.
But it's worth time probably.
Oh yeah, it's worth the time. Grab it on Xbox One. I will be playing it again and jumping back in to see if there are any differences and everything.
There's also kind of a trilogy of games that are kind of third-person, top-down perspective adventure games.
Yeah.
And that's The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, which is coming out for the Xbox One. Sacred 3, which is available on the 360 from December 16th to the 31st.
Yeah.
And then Gauntlet Slayer Edition for the PS4. So those 3 are going to come out, and we'll see what the differences is, what makes a good game of that.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting they're all kind of releasing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, as far as games, CastleStorm is one of the games for 360, but it was also free on PS Plus for PS3 and Vita in August, I want to say. So if you're like me and you compulsively pick these up, you already have it available to play if you have a PS3 or Vita.
And if you have an Xbox One, this was free earlier this year as well. That
Microsoft, no.
That is
Stop that.
Ridiculous. So this was already on Xbox One. This was a write-in. What do we give the people thing?
Well, and they tried to sell it like it was a bonus because they're like, hey, you get 360 games and they're all on your Xbox
and
One.
One of them you've probably been playing for the past year. If you played it earlier
already
this
had a
year
chance.
on Xbox One. So I'm irritated about that because they're calling it a bonus, and at the same time, it's not only is it not a bonus, it flies right just in the face of them saying, hey, we're backwards compatible now, and everything that you get on Xbox One is now compatible with 360, except the ones you aren't already, so we're going to give you those and pretend that they're free, because if it was released before November, then you didn't get them for free on Xbox 360 as you got them on One. So now they're just going to start giving out 360 games that they previously offered free and pretend that it's a good thing.
I have to apologize for a misstatement I made earlier in the show. About 2 minutes ago, I said that we were going to talk about something that didn't make us angry.
Yeah, sorry. That makes me angry. This is not free. Well, it's free, but it's not.
This is not how this is supposed
gift.
to work. This is not engendering goodwill, and this
not
is
at all.
Honestly, because like if you're just gonna put out 2 games per console, okay, cool, do that. That's fine.
Put those out there, yeah. But no, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I will be hold on. So this is coming out on 360. So yeah, I'll be playing it. We didn't do the show back then, so yeah. I'll be playing it. I'll play it and let you know. And this is even more irritating because I can now play it on my Xbox One in either version.
Yep, and somebody's gonna play the 360 version on their Xbox One despite having.
Oh, because it's a different game. It's a different build, and I'm sorry for.
And it's gonna be highlighted as this month's free game. And so
that's just sad. That's just sad. Yeah. But one thing that's not sad is that King's Quest Chapter 1 is coming out. I love King's Quest, and I haven't been able to play this yet. I'll admit it, I haven't played this yet. I played King's Quest 2 and King's Quest 3 and King's Quest 5. I played a bunch of those games. Yeah. Not every King's Quest game, but I loved those games.
Yeah, those are interesting.
Oh, yes.
And from what I've seen, it really does seem to kind of capture the spirit of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, there's also something that there's a new element to it because there was the King's Quest bit, but now it seems like they've taken a bit of Dragon's Lair and added it in. Because there's a scene where you're like on a raft that's going down and you have to jump to each side.
Oh, really?
And so that's kinda cool. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
The one weird thing about it is that we're only getting Chapter 1, which is, to be fair, that's the only thing that's out right now. But usually when they offer a free thing, it's the season whatever, and this is like a.
They've offered ones specifically before, but they already had others. Like they'd offer you episode 1, and they had other.
Right, but that's the thing that Telltale's doing. This is the first time that I've seen a single chapter released as if it was a free game.
I'm surprised that they're not releasing that in conjunction with releasing Chapter 2. as in timing.
I can see that.
Yeah, unless Chapter 2 is coming out in January or February, and they, it's kind of a way to get people to jump in, play it, and then when Chapter 2 comes out, people go, oh, that's great, grab it for $5 or whatever.
Or the season pass, and that's kind of the thing, is because King's Quest, I liked the series. I didn't finish a whole lot of them, but I poured a bunch of time into them.
Oh yeah.
And so we'll kind of see, how it runs, how it goes, and if I enjoy this one as much as I hope I will, then maybe I will pick up the season pass.
I'll probably do the season pass if it's as good as I'm hoping as well. Another thing that was as good as I'd hoped, it's actually better than I'd hoped, was Far Cry Blood Dragon. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is going to be free on PS3.
It's so fun.
If you guys have not played this yet, it does not matter if you've not played Far Cry 3. It does not matter at all.
It does matter if you like 80s, like
ridiculous,
really the crazy, yes, the aliens and the predators and the the genre of monster / military movie that came out then.
Yeah, that's
what this is, and it is so self-aware. The in Far Cry 3 you had rocks and you could throw them to distract enemies. In Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, you have nerd rocks, which are D20s.
Yes.
And they're referred to as nerd rocks, and you throw nerd rocks to distract. It's great.
Yeah.
I played this, I beat it. It's wonderful. Yeah. Please do yourself a favor, pick it up. And it's what, 4 or 5 hours to beat?
Probably
it's not terribly long. But it was a really, really fun and self-aware system.
Yeah.
Except for that one part where you had to fight the freaking dragon with a bow and arrow. That part took me like 45 minutes to finish.
Yeah. Yeah, so also coming out for PS3, because that Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is for PS3. Also coming out for PS3 is SSX, which I have not played an SSX game in a long time.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell me you'd never played, and I was like, my goodness.
No, back in the day.
Are you in for a treat?
No, I played some back in the day, but no, so this is coming out for PS3, for free for PS3. So it originally came out 2012. I've seen a lot of these where what they're giving for the PS3 came out 3 or 4 years. Well, yeah. But think about it. The PS3's been out for 8 years.
Sure.
Xbox 8 or 9 years. Xbox 360 just turned 10. If you didn't know,
and it had a 1 year. Okay,
so 9 years. 9 years. So when you see the dates on some of these, don't dismiss them, because that was, that's kind of...
It was a couple years into the cycle, and they knew what they were doing.
They were doing, yes. Yeah, so don't dismiss when you're like, oh, that's a 3-year-old game, oh, that's a 4-year-old game. That's when they were really, really good. Because if you look at the games that came out, the first games that came out on PS3 and Xbox 360... a little clunkier, a little harder, but
and then the last one for 360 coming out December 16th to the 31st is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Which is, from what I understand it's going to be kind of like it's a more tactical shooter. Mm-hmm. There's not regenerating health. So have fun with that.
Yeah. Side bit on all of this, interjecting right in the middle of this, I'm actually leaving the country for a week.
Yes.
I will be in Manila, so next week we'll have a guest on here instead of me, for the news at least. So I have to play all of these games. I'm not going to have a console with me, so I'm looking at the date on this right here. So I have to play all of these games. Okay, so I've got 2 weeks. We'll be doing the roundup on the 29th of December.
But I'm going to be helping. I'm going to be helping with the 360 ones now, though. So that'll be be a little better.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help a little bit. Need to figure that out, by the way. So I'm gonna have to rush through a lot of these in the holiday season, so I'm not gonna be putting as much time in as I'd like to normally on there. But it does mean I'll be playing more of the Vita games.
Yes,
I'm not stealing your thunder on that.
Freedom Wars.
I'm going to be playing Freedom Wars, which is the next one on here.
I'm excited about this title.
I am too, because there have been a lot of people who've been talking about it. Colin Moriarty was one of them that was saying this is a great game. You should pick it up. And a while back, you were like, hey, there's a deal on this, and I said, I don't know if I'm gonna have the time. I want to, but I couldn't justify the price on it because I don't play my Vita as much as you do. with my
very few people do.
With my flying for 35 hours in the next week.
You've got the time.
I've got the time. I'll be flying about 17 and a half hours one way and then 17 and a half hours the other way. Plenty of time. I'll be playing some Freedom Wars, which Freedom Wars is kind of it's a Monster Hunter-esque tank kind of thing, right?
No, I mean it's like you're
futuristic,
an augmented dystopian future thing, and you start off the game with a 1,000,000-year sentence.
That's right.
And you work off that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, but
I haven't either.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be fun. Yeah. The other one coming out for Vita is Rocketbirds Hardboiled Chicken.
Yeah.
Which looks like it's trying really hard to be funny. So if it succeeds, it'll be entertaining. If not, it'll be...
I really hope so, because there's nothing sadder than when jokes just completely bomb. When your whole idea was to make a funny movie or a funny game,
well,
and then you come out with
like...
Click, and or Pixels. Have you seen Pixels yet?
No, I'm never going to see.
Don't see it. Oh.
No, why would you? Why did you?
Peter Dinklage and Josh Gad. Josh Gad's great. And Peter Dinklage hammed it up. I mean, he knew what he was in for, and
and so we'll see if it's good. I have my doubts, because I feel like that birds and chickens and such usually go into pun territory and stay there for the entire duration. So I have my doubts.
You can't do a pun repeatedly.
But I will be playing it, and we'll, at the end of this month, we will let you know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Also wanted to go ahead and announce kind of our year-end plans.
Yes.
Now we do this as a side project. We don't get free games. We don't get games early. We don't.
Not yet. But guys,
Not yet.
you can send us games. We'll review them for you.
Yeah, we will.
Put in a lot of
absolutely
time,
take care of that,
and we will do an honest review.
especially if it's on Vita.
Yeah. So a couple things we want to do though. We want to do a game of the year for our show.
Right.
And different from their game of the year. We're going to give out our award,
and it will be
to the companies.
Our favorite game.
Yes.
So like I said, we didn't get to play them all.
Yeah.
Lord knows I would like to, but yeah, we'll have that, and then we'll have a couple of other categories, like most hyped or underappreciated game, best and worst gold and plus offerings.
Yep.
But feel free to put any other categories that you want to hear our input on, or just kind of we want to do a year overview and then some of the highlights.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we have in mind. Maybe at some point in the future we'll be confident enough to say this was the best game of this year.
Yeah.
But right now it's just going to be our favorite, the one that we had the most fun with.
And we're going to have, like you said, a handful of categories. So, we may or may not have this is the game of the year, but at least we'll have ones that we say, hey, here are the highlights of the year. It's almost kind of a look back at the year, which is what this really should be about.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a top 10 list, but it'll be here's the things that happened this year that are mentionable while they're still on our minds.
I feel like the most important thing in video gaming that happened this year, and I'll go ahead and spoil this.
Oh no.
We launched.
We did.
We started this thing.
Biggest thing that happened in 2015. Was TWIOCH.
Bam!
Yeah.
TWIOCH launched, and it will be looked back in future years.
It will.
As the most significant
thing that happened in 2015. Nothing else. Yeah. Nothing else to mention. There was a game called Fallout 4 and Bloodborne and but TWIOCH was better than both of those. So yeah.
The last Metal Gear Solid.
So
let us know what categories, and then one of the other ones that we're looking for input on is we're gonna say a game that we missed that we intend to play in the next year, and I will commit to a full playthrough of whatever game it is that I end up doing.
Yep.
But yeah, what game have you not heard us talk about that much that you feel like maybe we didn't get give a decent shot?
Was that the underappreciated one that we either haven't talked about or other people haven't talked about? And doesn't matter what developer it is. We talk about a lot of console gaming on here, but if it is a PC game, I can do that as well. You don't have as access to.
I do.
You do? Okay. Not as. I mean, you're on your Vita so much.
Not quite as accessible.
Well, you're on your Vita so much. We do a lot more console-based games. I do play PC games as well. So if it's a PC game, put that on here as well. Don't think that this is just console. We kind of gravitate a lot towards the console stuff, but we do everything. So let us know what, categories and games and everything that you want to see us talk about as a wrap up for the year.
Yeah, we're still figuring this out, and we're interested in your input, and we're probably not going to be as open in future times as to, we'll kind of find our rhythm and whatever, but we're looking for you to help us do that.
Help us help you have a better product on this show so we can give you better stuff all the time. Like that. Cool. We'll see you guys later, and have a good one. And all the comments, likes, subscribes, all those. Bye! Playing the spec that you're playing, by the way, because I'm playing that pretty much. I'm all charisma.
Yeah.
Pretty good luck, and everything else is 3. Oh, and my intelligence is 6.
My intelligence is pretty high.
I boosted intelligence a couple times.
Okay.
Because I need sciencey stuff.
Yeah, science is cool.
If you do the caps one. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is gonna make sense afterwards. Do what it says in the thing. In the guide where it's like buy all the stuff, where it's like buy all the bullets, then sell one back, then sell a couple back.
Right.
If you want to be what I'm doing, I go in and I buy shipments. Mm-hmm. Have you seen those?
Yes. I actually bought one of those.
I buy every shipment.
Okay.
I buy all ammo. I buy all stim packs. I buy all rad away. Mm-hmm. When I buy all ammo, when you buy all the ammo, then choose the one that you're not going to use as much. Make sure it has enough of it, obviously. Sell 1 bullet back. Right. Sell 10 or so. And then when you hit just to sell all afterwards, it'll keep it at a random integer. It's maybe not random, but 5 or 7 or whatever. And you keep it sell. If you've already sold all of your bullets and you hit that a couple times, mm-hmm. and you tab back to them and then just hit XX as if you're going to buy all of them, it's going to sell back.
How about if you show me this in a minute?
Okay, I'll show you in a minute. Because it saved me so much freaking time. Because what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll buy everything that I ever wanted in my dreams. Right. And then do that hack. You don't necessarily have to do that. But
it's tempting.
I'm doing it because I want a lot of stim packs. And I'm just collecting power armor. Just to collect it. Yeah. So Clara has 4 now. But Max has 7.
Yeah. I want to... Well, see, there's a lot of, there's weapons that I think are cool, mm-hmm. that I want to, and, I'm still, I still don't know what's useful, so when I spend money, I spent, 1,000 caps on something, yeah, and then it turned out it was kind of crap.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, but, there's just stuff that, I don't entirely understand, I understand most of what's going on, but there's a lot that they're you'll be fine. And so I feel like this is kind of covering for that because and this allows me to experiment with the character without losing all of my caps for a thing.
Yes. Because right now,
I mean, I am prioritizing working toward whenever I get to level 14 or 20 or whatever it is, then I'll have my supply lines and then I'll have an income. Yeah. And at that point, I'll be like, okay, I can wait.
See, I've got my supply line.
Well, you have to get it to the level 2 one before it starts making you money.
Level 2 is when you make shops, right? Right. And then do the supply line then make you money?
I think so.
Okay, because I know the shops bit of it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna build a bunch of shops.
Yeah.
And then
I'm looking forward to that.
And then do the cap thing with them too. Yes, I do it. I do it. Everybody in Diamond City. So you go right all around. I go to the doctor. I go to the guy that sells the drugs. Uh-huh. I go to the chick that doesn't like synths. Yeah. I then go to the Arturo, who's the only one that I remember the name of. And then I go, and the baseball guy doesn't have really anything to buy. But I go in that circle, and I end on Arturo with power armor. And I get the power armor, and then I leave. And by that time, you have I think 15 different shipments.
Jeez.
So it's 25 adhesive and 25 of everything, and then I think 100 steel. So I think I have 800 or 900 steel right now, and that's as I've already built up my wall around.
See, I haven't even done that, but I got up to a crazy amount of steel because at first I was picking up everything and then fast traveling back and yeah. So apparently when you junk everything, that includes pre-war cash, but you can sell pre-war cash for more caps than
I'll have to look and see.
Because pre-war cash translates into cloth.
Oh, see, I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather sell it for caps.
Right, but that's something that it will do if you let it.
Right now, what I'm doing is all of my pre-war cash I have in a pile. I literally tossed
Is it
out.
Underneath a mattress?
I need to do that. I need to do that.
Put it under a mattress.
I'm gonna put it under. I'll take a bed, and I'll just have stacks and stacks. Because what I was doing was I was getting all the cigarettes and it's pre-war cash. Because as soon as they patch the glitch, I want a stockpile. So then I'll still be able to, I've got so Clara, who is only I only have 7 hours on her. Max, I have way more, but I'm really loving playing Clara. I really like her. So I'm playing her, and I'm now as far as I was on Max, because I'm still trying to figure stuff out.
Right.
But Clara has 6,500 caps. And I don't buy anything, so that just
1,200.
Well, see, I don't buy anything, so that just keeps amassing.
Right.
And then when they do patch that, I'm gonna have stuff that I can actually sell. Pretty more money and cigarettes, because my character doesn't smoke, my character doesn't drink, so all of the, I know this is just my style, but Mentats, Jet, alcohol, I just sell it. So that's just
I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna hang on to the Mentats for whenever I want to really buy something. Yeah, something that's really expensive, and I'm gonna hang on to it for that. Oh, see, I haven't found any.
I'm just hoarding it. I mean, you haven't found Mentats?
No. I have Mentats.
Oh, you haven't found something.
I haven't found something in my price range that I'm confident I actually want.
Yeah, and that's do the glitch just to be able to play. Just to be able to play around. There's so much going on in Fallout. There's so much going on in Fallout that you're going to enjoy everything else.
I like the power buildup though. Because I had that pipe pistol, and that was the only thing I had bullets for a while. Yeah. And then now I can use the 10mm. Yeah. And I have a reasonable and that was these incremental upgrades besides just the leveling up and what have you. I enjoy that.
But with your build, I mean, your accuracies kind of suck, right? And
it's not great.
And you're not as used to shooters anyways, so I'd say cheat that, because it'll give you more bang for your buck for the amount of time that you get to put in the game.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to be playing it for the next 3 years.
Oh, so. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's plenty of bang for my buck already.
Did you see, I don't know if you watch Angry Joe.
No, I keep meaning to.
I like him. He put up, I think it's a 55-minute review of the game. I mean, he usually does 35-minute reviews anyways, but it's long. There's a scene of him in the jumpsuit in the Fallout. He has a suit, and he has the Pit Boy, and he's playing, and one of the other guys on there called Other Joe, because his name is also Joe. He's coming sitting down on the couch, and he's like, "Oh, you're the new Tomb Raider game is out? Fallout? like everything you say is Fallout. I don't care what else is out." Yeah, and it's amazing.
I really think that Tomb Raider is going to do better next year.
And it's sad.
Whenever it comes. And from everything that I hear, it's good. It's a great game. It is. Why?
They didn't know. That's the story.
They didn't know, but they knew for 4 months.
Well, they were announcing it. They were announcing it the day after.
Yeah, but
I want to say 14 hours after. But in the 14 hours, they could have said...
This unsubstantiated stat, but 50% of games are delayed at least a month now.
Yeah, it's a believable
Would it
stat.
really have been that hard to move it?
Well, we didn't know when it was coming out, so they could have immediately, right as soon as it said that, got everyone together and said, "Hey, should we bump this to January or February? Bump it to January or February, and just don't say anything. We'll show stuff, just don't put the date on there. Yeah. Don't show the trailer. Say when it's coming out. What was I going to say?
Was it Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads?
It might be.